YouTube, what it do? Let's get straight to it. Hey, so I'm gonna be honest with you, like, it saddens me that we live in a time where, a motherfucker gotta act like they cool with shit they not cool with just to fit in and pacify the feelings of people who don't give a fuck about how you feel. Now, let me elaborate on that. What I mean is, the gay community and the LGBTQ. First of all, I'm confused to, is it separate? Is it the same entity? Not really sure what's what. But anyway, I'm speaking on that in particular. Like, the world has become so sensitive to not offending and making sure everything you say is pleasing to the gay and the LGBTQ community. When it's like, why do I give a fuck about the feelings of people who don't give a fuck about my feelings? Or why should anyone, for that matter? Like, everybody wants to pacify and make sure we don't offend and go out of our way to make sure everything is pleasing to the gay and the LGBTQ community. And I'm only saying it as two separate entities because I'm not really sure if it's the same thing or what. I don't know what's going on. But, they want us to go out of our way to make sure we don't offend them. But it's like, what about the people that's not into the homosexuality and the same-sex shit? What about that being offensive to them? You know what I'm saying? What about how uncomfortable it makes people that aren't homosexual, how uncomfortable it makes them that homosexual people don't respect their boundaries just because they're homosexual? What about how uncomfortable and offensive that is? Like, they want to make sure everything is to their likeness, but it's like they don't give a fuck about how that lifestyle makes people who not in support and in agreement with that lifestyle. They don't give a fuck how that makes those people feel. So it's like, I'm not the type of person to tell you you should give a fuck about people that don't give a fuck about you. Like, I'd be a hypocrite to say, love everybody, love your neighbor, because it's like, well, what if my neighbor don't love me? You know what I'm saying? Like, what if my neighbor is just a slutty person that's interested in something sexual from me just because they're willing to engage in that type of activity with another man? You know what I'm saying? Like, what if that's the case? That's not love. So it's like, I find it hard. I don't find it hard. I find it quite easy to tell someone, hey, love who love you. And don't give a fuck about the people that don't. I find it very easy to say that to a person because that's the way I live my life. I don't tell people shit that I don't practice. You know what I mean? So I'm not the person to tell you, love everybody. I don't love everybody because everybody doesn't love me. There's people who hate my guts because I'm myself. Me being myself is a problem for gay people. So it's like, I don't want to matter or give a fuck about offending people who have a problem with me just being myself. Like, me being myself is a problem for gay people in the LGBTQ community, but I'm supposed to give a fuck about them when the only way I can be accepted by them is if I'm something I'm not. Or I gotta sit around and fake and act like I'm cool with shit I'm not. And I refuse. Y'all ain't gotta thank me. I said what I said. Sauce Lord shit.